As you can see by more celebrity guests, I've added mustaches too. Come see us at Wizard World St. Louis, April 5th through the 7th, where we'll be there all weekend long. And on that Saturday, April 6th, we'll be having a public screening of our 2017 movie Jesus Bro. Get your tickets at wizardworld.com and use our promo code CINEMA20 to get 20% off. Some of these people already have mustaches, and others I have to digitally take their beards away, and that looks weird. Welcome to a day at the movies with the Cinema Snob and Lloyd. I can't tell what Lloyd is thinking, but I bet he sounds just like he does in the Lloyd animated series.
I told you for the last time I don't sound like that. I sound like a bitter old man, and I hung up my detective license years ago.
We've got a special one coming up today. Just look how excited Lloyd is with the remake of the Stephen King classic Pet Sematary being released soon. It's time we take a look at one of Lloyd's favorite movies, the original Pet Sematary film.
That is not one of my favorite movies. That's more of a dog movie. Don't you remember the old commercials?
Now that Lloyd is done with his thoughts, I am going to, unprovoked and for no reason, show some clips of an old video store commercial about a dog in Pet Sematary.
Okay, I'll stick around for a little while longer. Oh, yes! But I'm gonna move to the armrest.
You know, the one where the couple visits Leslie Jordan's video store and their dog is trained to seek out movies.
He knows where to go?
Sure, he comes here all the time.
I bet it took a lot of time to train that dog. You know, it would have been a lot easier just going to the shelf and picking out the movie yourself. Right? When did you move over there? Also, soap dish? Well, I guess Delirious was checked out.
Not a chance, pal. If you want that, you're gonna have to save up your allowance. Now go get the Naked Gun.
You're not even old enough for movies that are rated rough.
You give your dog an allowance?
He's not good with money.
Oh.
That's because he's got a crippling gambling habit and he's forced to do video store tricks on the streets. Anyway, that's a jovial way to advertise a movie about dead pets and children coming back to life. Pet Sematary marks a first for Stephen King, based on his 1983 novel of the same name. The 1989 film adaptation was the first film screenplay of King's which he himself adapted. It's the story of the Creed family who moves to a small Maine town. That's weird, it's a Stephen King movie. I thought it'd be in Utah. And something Indian burial ground, and then this happens.
What's your name, pussycat?
As you can see, it's much more hilarious when you watch the movie today. The film was directed by Mary Lambert, previously known for the Madonna videos Like a Virgin and Material Girl, and later Mega Python vs. Gatoroid, the story of what happens when you bury a Gatoroid in a non-Gatoroid cemetery. With Paramount handling the release, I think I know how this movie's gonna open. Must all Paramount movies start out sounding like that?
Plotting escape in 10, 9...
This backwards town is just waiting for a visit from actual Lee on their spelling. Here's where we get a good glimpse of this cemetery.
Bye, old chap. See you in heaven, yep?
Shep's not going to heaven, I'm afraid. Not after breaking into farmhouses and banging the cattle. Oh, Lloyd, no. No, you want to go down that hallway.
Just leave me alone. I have to hear you talk about these movies every week. I don't have to do it on the camera.
I hope somewhere I see a goldfish bowl with some moss growing out of it. This place is a popular spot for skunks to spray on the graves of golden retrievers who chased them out of porches for decades. Siggy the squirrel was very well off, as you can tell by his elaborate above-ground tomb. What's this? Biffer, hell of a sniffer. Until he died, he made us bitches? Oh, I mean better. Bifford did have a lot of bitches, though. On the plus side, there may be a lot of dead pets, but at least someone is tending to the grass. Soon enough, the Griswolds arrive, since they're long past due trying to revive Dinky for Aunt Edna. Louis Creed is played by Dale Midkiff, aka 80s Peter Sarsgaard, along with his wife, Denise Star Trek reference Crosby. This place has everything, including a tire swing, which is going to be a lot more fun come mudslide season. But until then...
Ellie! Listen to your mom.
Suck it up, your brother gets hit by a truck. Spoiler. Careful though, trucks are known to travel 70 miles an hour down this road.
No, you don't, my friend.
Stupid old man, do you want this plot to move forward or not? Ooh, that's Fred Gwynn as neighbor Judd Crandall. I think this part may be iconic or something.
I live just across the road. You want to watch out for that road.
Leads to decades of Fred Gwynn impressions talking about that road. Somehow the animals always know that they're living next to a spot where hundreds of them are buried. Church the cat is very upset that he keeps getting called Church, yet he's really more of a casual believer. Anyway, let's have a beer and bring the dead back to life. Oh, sorry, where are my manners? Your cat ain't dead yet.
My little girl's got a cat. Winston Churchill. Call him Church for short.
I prefer to be called Winston because he's my favorite Ghostbuster. I don't know who this Winston Churchill is. I'm a cat.
This movie takes me back. Back in the late 80s, we would often dress like Die Hard could happen at any minute. Everyone here seems so... normal.
Always thought it would be lucky to marry a doctor. Wish I had a doctor around with my stomach pain so bad.
Yes, that's nice. Here's some Pepto, and don't get hit by the millions of semis driving through. It's a bright sunny day. Let's check out the Pet Sematary. And how the hell are you the biggest buzzkill in a place where pets are buried?
A graveyard for pets killed in the road. Built by broken-hearted children.
Oh, yeah, they just need a good cigarette, a beer, and a prostitute. Oh, that'll liven them up. Am I Fred Gwynn or Jimmy Stewart?
Judd truly gets children.
Do you know what a graveyard really is?
I'll show you my crawl space.
Sure, this movie may be starting out adorable, but Denise Crosby's Rachel has a distinct must-figure-out way to get rid of Cat look. Tired of Cat being most loved person in household. Already this family looks like they hate each other. Do you mind, Gage? I am having a pissed-off stare-down with your mother. It leads to a wild night of angry sex. At least after we make up. Do I tell him my lips are poisoned directly after or later? No, I'm just kidding. I'm sure they're a nice family.
Want to see what happened? Got hit by a truck.
Meanwhile, glad I'm not in there. I don't like gore.
Dr. Creed is having a tough first day, but he has good bedside manner.
I told Rachel not so much as a sprain today, my friend.
True, it really is you having the worst day. The ghost of Victor Pascow is important to the story. Who knew that Massive Head Wound Harry would be one of the best SNL movie adaptations? Well, that was an interesting day at work.
We've got places to go.
I think you want David Naughton's house. I've not even been bitten by a werewolf. Unfortunately, there's a place beyond the Pet Sematary, but not as far as Pet Sematary 2.
I want to wake up, that's all.
Don't go on, Doc. No matter how much you may feel you have to.
Then perhaps you shouldn't be showing it to me. I may not have known about this otherwise. Whew, even the dreams around here are overdramatic. Or are they? A sinister visit from the Tree Mafia. It's best the kids go on vacation for a while. Plus, he doesn't get along with Rachel's dad. He keeps calling Lewis David Keith, and just because they both played Elvis in a movie doesn't mean they're the same person. This vacation is going perfectly. Kids are away from home, and he doesn't have to feed the cat anymore.
Yep. That shirt's all right.
Do you need a tissue? You seem really broken up. If Lloyd were here right now, he would disapprove of your underreaction.
I don't care. When are we gonna watch that darn cat?
It's okay, though. We're gonna bring the cat back to life, so you do need to stock up on more cat food. Why do people live anywhere around this area? The set of The Conqueror is a safer place to live.
What kind of driveway is this?
Whose burial ground?
Micmac Indians.
Well, someone's taking Poltergeist way too seriously. This is the land that brings to life the dead things you bury in it. How, you may ask? It's built on a set of buried electrical lines. Hey, honey, I found a solution to our problem in the bedroom. I'm gonna bury my dick. I need to shit, Lewis. I need to shit real bad. I'm gonna try burying my shit to see if it'll come back as the delicious meatball sub I had for lunch. This whole movie is just Frankenweenie for cynics. From now on, Church was renamed Black Mass. Church is a bit grumpier because he still remembers the day that Lewis tripped with a bucket of water over Church's bed. And that's how he got his eye patch. That graveyard ain't all good, though, which is why Judd tells him about the time he buried a copy of Cujo.
Spot came back all right. But it was never quite the same dog that I knew.
Why you trying to bust a move on me with that caddy, huh?
Come to think of it, maybe it was a bad idea we buried Church. Thought he was a good God-fearing cat because of his name. Church comes back evil and more of a prankster. That is classic Church. That's for replacing my 9 Lives cat food with Whiskas. You know we're remorse the cat family. This place is screwed up even without the Indian burial ground. Someone get this town some Xanax. Funeral. Just another Saturday in this town. King cameo. I think even the kids are getting on Church's bad side.
On the Eastern Maine Coast, and scientists don't know why.
I was watching that. Heathcliff was gonna be on Carson tonight.
Well, too bad, because now we have a flashback about Rachel's sister.
My sister died in the back bedroom, and that's what she was. A dirty secret.
Your pillow talk needs work, and this only happened because you buried your copy of Thinner in the cemetery. And it's about time this happened.
Where are you going?
I'm going to get you a Valium.
But you know I don't take.
Tonight you do.
Perfect. Got enough for the whole town? Meanwhile, as a truck pulls out of the foreshadowing station...
Mommy, look!
Watch him.
There it goes!
Ooh, that kite's gonna die. You know what would make all the difference in the world in this universe? A speed limit sign. Okay, whatever. We can get him a new shoe. Oh, I guess Gage is dead. It's okay. He'll come back much darker and more sinister in Wes Craven's New Nightmare. It's good they found a picture of Gage the second before the truck hit him. Thankfully, even the kids' art projects are there to comfort Dad in his time of need. Could this week get any worse?
I hope you rot in hell! Where were you when he was playing in the road? You stinking shit! You killer!
You are making this funeral a real bummer! Dad's about to make the biggest mistake of his life. He's gonna pour whiskey over a bowl of SpaghettiOs. Ugh. Turns out you can bury people in the Pet Sematary, and they will come back to life, but at the cost of another flashback.
He was killed on his way home in the Second World War. His father, Bill Bateman, was grief-struck.
You buried Hitler, didn't you? You're under the impression that anyone is gonna learn a lesson here.
What's the bottom of the truth?
Well, sometimes dead is better.
That's not the right title. If you bury the dead, unfortunately, they will steal food from under Gacy's house. While it was right to destroy the undead nightmare from Judd's youth, did they have to be so hate-crimey about it? Spare the house and destroy the zombie, as they say. I think this story, and Church coming back all evil, means you should stop getting ideas from Frank Drebin's cousin. On the plus side, family's on a second vacation. Even more sleeping in. Or is he already asleep?
We all lost our minds, Erwin.
Dad, did you bury yourself in the Pet Sematary? Anyway, look at the bright side, kid. At least you're fine in this version. When you live next to Herman Munster, it's only a matter of time before you make your own Frankenstein monster. And Dad still seems to be underacting about all of this.
What happened to you is wrong.
Remember, Doc. The barrier.
I still think this day could get a little weirder.
Pascal. Where do I know that name? Pascal?
Shouldn't he be busy being the imaginary friend of a future emo kid? Dad better dig up Gage and rebury him before Officer seems legit drops by. Just wait until Gage is instantly pissed off that they buried him in an embarrassing sailor outfit. Even Mom is having a weird night.
I'm coming for you.
I feel like, regardless of the Pet Sematary, these characters would still be murdered by a horror film. Pascal is an optimist, though. Sure, they should always bump up the living dead to first class, but he's just glad to be on a fun trip. Either everything in this town is trying to kill him, or stop him, or both. Oh, I get it. It was buried on an ancient haunted mansion theme park burial ground. Plus, the town is trying to kill them. Gross, you smell like my litter box, which you have not changed. Just because I'm undead doesn't mean I don't shit. Again, what is with the state of Maine?
Copy and Maeve.
Oh, thank you.
Pet Sematary, where not even a minute would exist without bad ideas. Oh, Gage is back all right and brattier than ever. I blame The Simpsons.
Boys have a penis, girls have a vagina.
Real mature, King. I distinctly remember Gage at least respecting a proper bedtime.
Where did you...
Ouch! Okay, no more sitting barefoot at the chair. From now on, I'm gonna introduce myself to a little thing called socks. Plus, it doesn't matter what you do to Judd, he'll be back. Well, that's weird. There's significantly less lampshade skin and skull bowls in Judd's house today. What a family reunion, sorta.
Rachel! Never get out of bed again!
I feel like another movie is continually talking through this one. It doesn't help that ghosts keep showing up to riff the movie. Excellent, and it's a musical now. When your kid dresses like Shirley Temple crossed with Jack the Ripper, don't approach him. You will definitely die off screen. I'm glad you're back, son, but we need to teach you again about tracking mud in the house and these phone calls.
Lauren, I told you I can't talk to you right now.
Alright, just Daddy. Will you come over and play with me?
That does it. I'm tired of the evil cats constantly prank calling.
Today is Thanksgiving Day for cats.
That's in September, you idiot!
I'm gonna categorize this one as a dick move. Church wasn't hurting anyone, he just wasn't a morning cat.
You know what I really approve of? Getting that camera out of my face and replacing it with a delicious tuna casserole!
It's Gage who's the real villain. Look, he hired Jordy Verrill to be Judd's interior decorator, and he's creepy.
Scared you, didn't I?
Gage?
Hi, Daddy. Now I can play with you.
Good thing I punched myself in the dick last week, because I definitely don't want kids now. People don't tell you how ferociously strong evil kids are. Same thing happens when you bury a good guy doll. Dad's mostly surprised that it was just a small cut on the forehead. That's not a bad collision with a semi-truck. Even with Gage being an undead evil hell spawn, only an idiot would be anti-vaccine.
No fair. No fair, no fair.
Agreed, a simple timeout or taking away his video games would be much better. Thus, Mr. Wilson finally got his revenge on that pain-in-the-ass Dennis. A lesson has finally been learned in this film.
I'm sorry, Louis. I'm so sorry. But don't make it worse.
This is all your faults. Maybe it's best Judd is gone. No one called the fire department about his house, despite hundreds of trucks driving by. That's why Louis felt it best not to bury Judd. Although once Rachel comes back, first thing on the agenda, shopping spree. And then their sex was wilder and angrier than ever. Thanks, Ramones. Let Pet Sematary be a lesson to you. If ghosts and old stories aren't enough to convince you not to bury the dead and have them come back all evil, then you should most certainly not bury the Kurgan in it. That's an even worse idea. While Pet Sematary divided critics upon release due to the occasional flat acting and weird tangents, the movie still proved to be a major hit at the box office, given its original story, which plays on bad decisions caused by grief, plus a very quotable performance from Fred Gwynne, and some creepiness in the third act. Its success was enough to spawn the 1992 sequel, Pet Sematary 2, and this year's remake, Pet Graveyard, the hell is that? No, not that, this! Now is the part in the review where we take Lloyd to the Pet Sematary and he comes back as a ferocious lion and chases us around with a bullwhip. I've even knitted him a tiny little lion suit. Where are you, Lloyd?
Oh boy, here we go again!
Church to get his nuts cut, Daddy.